welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about another way of sharing your story, and that's sharing your story on a podcast. So this is one that if you don't like being on video, you might enjoy. Podcasts are just audio. Podcasts are, I feel like, the new version of, or the modern version of radio shows. It, like, back when they did storytelling, almost TV show type audio shows on the radio before TV was a thing, and even while TV was a thing. That's my best way of describing it. So podcasts can be really whatever you want them to be. They can be just sharing your story on your own. They can be conversations with friends or people that you want to discuss whatever the topic you focus on is. If you're talking Turner syndrome, I have really enjoyed having conversations with other women with Turner syndrome and sharing stories. It's been incredible. And that's actually how I got into podcasting myself. I have always been an avid fan and listener to podcasts. I am subscribed to more podcasts than I can actually keep up with the episodes of, but it always felt intimidating. It always felt intimidating to know how to get it out there, to know how to make them and record them. I don't have a fancy microphone or anything, and I just didn't know anything about it. And then I watched a video that talked about a platform called Anchor, and this video made it feel so easy that I had to try it. And that is how the Coffee and Turner Syndrome podcast came to be. And I will link that video for you guys so you can check it out. All of that to say it can really be whatever you want it to be. And I love that format that can be as short or as long as you want it to be. It can be any kind of discussion style you want it to be. And this is once again something that you can do just with your phone. I've created podcasts in two ways. First one is pulling audio from videos I've made. So a lot of my initial podcast episodes were the audio of my YouTube videos. And that's still how I work to some extent, except I have more recently recorded just audio specifically for just the podcast. So those are two different ways. You can either do a video and pull the audio from it, post the video somewhere else, post the audio as the podcast. You can do a number of things that way, and then you can also record on your phone. Or if you have a microphone. This is just the cheap microphone that we have. I have not actually used this for the Coffee and Turner Syndrome podcast. I have used it in things I'm working on elsewhere. I'll leave that at that. But you don't need a fancy microphone if all you have is your phone. That works too. In fact, if you use Anchor, you can record straight through the app and edit it in the app. So I will link a live video I did all about how I made the decision to start a podcast. That might help give you some insight into more of the logistics of how I do this along with that other video. But I would really encourage you to look into the potential for podcasting if video is not something that you are interested in. My tip for podcasting that I have are, one, make it super simple. Anchor, you can record, edit, and get your podcast onto several podcasting platforms, all from their one app or website. So easy. It was incredible when I found that out. Two, audio quality. Yes, audio quality is going to matter, especially when you're looking at a podcast, because it's all audio, right? They're basing everything off how things sound. So you want to pay attention to things like background noise, like how far away the microphone is from you, like what's called peaks. When you say certain words, when you say like peak and it spikes on the P, those are things you want to pay attention to. And if you listen back to the audio and you can hear how it sounds, you can tell what issues you may want to work out or if you're good with it. And I would recommend giving yourself several takes of audio, giving yourself that time to really hone in how you want it to sound, and then it'll become more natural as you've done it more, just like with videos. The other recommendation that I have, which is what I did, is getting your podcast set up. So deciding on artwork, name, description, getting it set up to distribute to all the different platforms ahead of time before you post anything, getting it to be monetized if you're going to do that from the beginning, getting that set up ahead of time, and really being ready for that launch in that way. And then also having some episodes ready before you make everything go live and share the links. I had several episodes already scheduled out before I ever announced I was going to be starting a podcast. I had that all set so that I was ahead of any kind of upload schedule I was going to try to keep. And I would encourage you for a podcast to decide on an upload schedule ahead of time. With videos, yes, upload schedules can matter. But you don't have to start out announcing and deciding on a particular schedule. For podcasts, I really feel like it matters more. So that is something that I feel like you should think about ahead of time and set yourself up for success in that way. I think it also really matters to have your systems automated for sharing it, to decide how and where you're going to share the links. So that gives you some ideas for how to get started with it being a podcast way, with sharing your story on a podcast. I will say some of my favorite ways to listen to podcasts are on drive, when I'm taking Max on a walk, while I'm doing cleaning around the house. It's so much fun. And I have a lot of different types of podcasts I listen to. And it's a really fun, very fresh and new way of telling your story. And so I hope this was helpful if that's something you've been thinking about. I will also link the one about sharing your story on YouTube that I did so you can kind of see both and see what you think. If there's any other way of sharing your story you would like to see me talk about, I would love to hear that in the comments. Let me know. If you have shared your story on a podcast, let me know. I would love to hear that in the comments as well. And I hope this was fun and encouraging and helpful. Make sure you give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Hit subscribe if you are not already subscribed. It's free and it tells YouTube you want to see when I post new videos, along with notifications, so you'll then get notified when I post a new video. Do all the good things. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!